All right, so this is basically kind of how I started out, like as if we were using 1 hour. So I just basically go through and I find all of my channels right out the gate. So here's a channel. We have multiple, let's see, multiple retests of an area, basically treating it like support or resistance. Here's another example. I go from the wicks. Really precise about it too. So I like to kind of like get it lined up perfectly. Yours don't have to be perfect, but that's just kind of how I am. There's so many good examples here. This is going to be a good training on here, this one, because these are some really, really good examples of perfect retests.
Is that one right there next to that triangle? Is that a channel as well? Right there where you're at. If you come over to the left a little bit more.
Right here?
Over. Yeah, right there. Is that a good channel?
This one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a little channel right there. You talking from here to here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
good. And what's cool is you caught a perfect retest too. Yeah, so these are some really good examples. Okay. So right here, you see it bounced off, gave us 2. Hey, I think that, can everybody mute themselves, but besides Nicole, please? We're having a lot of static.
Yeah, I hear that.
All right, thanks. Okay. All right, so right here, we had 2 retests, or we had 2 tests of this trend line, which is a channel. It's just the bottom of it. I didn't draw the top. So it's coming down. Let's act like the market's coming down right here, okay? Market's coming down, market's coming down. I'm going to zone that off for you so we can see it on lower time frames.
Because that's a channel right there where it's coming down to, right?
Yeah, this is also a channel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so just looking at, yeah, they're everywhere. But once you start looking at them all the time, you'll just see them like crazy. You can actually draw out channels on this too. Right here. So like this one. Isn't that cool? So you can like draw it out.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Even better. Yeah, that's a whole lot better.
Yeah. So actually, you want me to do that on all these so you can see it better?
Yeah, because it color codes it, and then you could yeah, I could see
Okay. Yeah, that's
where
fine.
it actually is.
Okay. That'll be better for you. So let's see. Where was our first one? Here. And then here. Bigger one.
Yeah, it's a huge.
So that's a huge one. But we'll use this. We'll just kind of use it in this portion because if you look at the top, there's actually I like that channel better just because you see all those tests right there. See it on the top.
Right.
But I'm actually going to change the color of that. That's too dark. Can't see nothing. Format. What is that? None. There we go. Okay. So there's one. There's one. You guys see that? Is that making sense?
Yeah, once you
And you said you don't put your support and resistance levels up there because it just kind of confuses things, or you don't need it.
There's just way too many lines if you put support and resistance. I can just see them. Like if you just look to the left, you like right here. I mean, you can see where it's bounced off a million times from the top to the bottom. If you look to the left, I can just see it. Like I don't need to draw it up. You know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
Okay, cool. So we got this. We got these channels drawn out right here. it just kind of gives you a better visual. I actually do like that a lot better. So we see this coming down. This is the third, this would be the third tap of this trend line at the bottom. It's also it opened up our Bollinger Band, right? So that's 2 confirmations. We look down to the bottom. It's oversold. 3 confirmations right there. So now what are we looking for? We're looking for an engulfing and a retest on the lower time frames. 30-minute. Let's go down to 30. See a big old wick. So that's got our eye open right there. Is that? Nope, not quite. Not quite an engulfing. So I wouldn't have got in there yet. Well, let's find it on the 15. What do we see? Perfect reversal. Perfect reversal. It's Morning Star. Is that Morning Star? Yeah, I think it's Morning Star. Morning Star, Evening Stars. So as you can see, you got a downward bearish candle. You got a doji, then an engulfing right there. Yep. So then we would enter. We had 5 confirmations, right, guys? Then what do we do? We enter at the print, right? Stop loss 5 to 15, 15 to 20 pips, however you want to trade it. Stop loss. Guess what? Never came back down here. So as soon as it's 15 pips in profit, what do? We put our stop loss at break even. So if we would have entered here, never came down to our stop loss, we would have shot all the way up here, and look at that. 65 pips, right? 0.1, that's $65. And that's in one day. Would you guys be cool with $65 on one trade in one day? That's not even including the rest of your trades.
Exactly.
Right, so the engulfing candle is the long candle. So you don't get in until you see a long candle. Is that right?
So you're getting in when so it has to reverse direction. So if it's in a downward, so if it's in a down, I hate that pops up. That's the biggest thing that's annoying when you join TradingView. If you don't buy like the plus version, you just have that ad pop up once in a while. But I'm not paying for it, so it's free. But so let's say you're in a downtrend. Market's coming down here. When the market reverses directions, and this candle that was down gets completely engulfed by the next candle that's the opposite direction, that's when you would look to enter as on an engulfing. So see how this was coming down, switch direction, made an engulfing.
On a lower time frame, right?
Yeah. So if you're looking at the 1 hour time frame, marking whatever time frame you're marking stuff up on, you want to drop down to the lower time frame to get a better entry. So if you're looking at the 1 hour, I would enter on the 15. If you're looking at the 15, I would enter on the 5. I don't like to enter on the 1. It just moves way too fast. If you're looking at the daily, I would enter maybe – I still try to enter on the lower time frames, but you could find like an entry zone on the 1 hour. Actually, the trade on like a 15.
No, I think it makes perfect sense, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a really, really good example. That actually worked out perfect. Every single thing worked. We had our ADX, our RSI, Bollinger Band, engulfing, retest here. Everything, every single thing lined up. So that was a really nice trade. Okay, so are you ready to do an example for yourself?
Yes, I am. One more thing is the ADX and DI. What do you look for on that indicator?
Okay. So ADX, that's the last thing that I look at because it just shows trending. So basically, what you're looking for is when the red is over this dotted line, it's in a bearish market. Okay, it's trending bearish. If it's the green line is over this dotted line, the market is bullish trend. Okay, in that time frame. Okay, now if the black line is over top, like this one, that shows how much power it has, how consistent that trend is at that moment. Okay, but that doesn't mean you just look at this and find out whether to buy or sell. A lot of times it'll cross in that area, or it'll just be staying in that area. So like if I was looking at the 4 hour, you can see that. I'll show you once it loads.
So no, I'm trying to get
I hear someone else in the background.
Hey, can you guys mute yourself, please? It sounds like somebody's on a phone call. Can you mute yourself, please? Thanks.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So yeah, as you can see, this is on the 4 hour time frame. It's been trending down. It's been going down, 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 down. The red is over, and look, even though this shot up for quite some time, look right here. The red is still over it. So that's still showing you that it's still in a bearish downtrend. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to start on the 1 hour. Okay. I'm going to, I'll even do this. I'll do this. I'll leave my channels there and you tell me what else to do. I want you to give me at least 3 confirmations before you enter the trade. And I want you to tell me where I would enter and I want you to tell me where I'd put my stop loss and what I would do as soon as it goes 15 pips in profit. So find an area. When I'm in that area, tell me, I'll make a block around it and I want you to walk me through what I would look for on that trade and when I would enter. Okay.
Okay. So if you go up a little bit more to the right where the long red, yeah, right there.
Here?
The long, yep, right there.
Okay.
So that's the 1 hour. So you kind of see it on the 1 hour, but I would
I'll do
still
one
go
better.
down.
Yeah, I see what you're seeing. I don't think
Yeah.
everybody else does though. So you actually see another channel up there. Is that what you're saying?
Right
Okay.
there.
You see that trend line
And
from here, here, here. Okay. Good eye. I didn't see that. Okay.
and then I would probably let me
Let me
see.
box it off.
Yep, I would box it off at
Okay.
the top.
Yep.
So it's going up, and then now it looks like it's stretching out it's hitting the channel, the top of the channel. That's number 1.
Perfect.
And then it's stretching out the Bollinger Band.
Mm-hmm.
So it's creating a engulfing candle, but that's on the 1 hour. So you would probably go down to the 15-minute candle.
Yeah, so we wouldn't be
Okay.
looking at our entry here. So this would be too late. You would already missed out on probably 10 pips because you're not looking for the engulfing candle to print on the 1 hour. You're just looking for the confirmations, and then you're going to drop down to the lower time frames to find the engulfing quicker because there's actually probably an engulfing up here higher, and you could have caught out like a 3 to 12 pip better entry. You know what I mean?
So when you see it actually stretching out the Bollinger Band, is that when you start to look
Yeah.
at the
So
lower
right
time frame?
here, even when this is still blue on this candle, that's when we would drop down this to wait for our engulfing to print. Okay. So everything else you got right. I want you to give me another example. Actually, yeah, I want you to give me another confirmation. So far right here, you got the Bollinger Bands, you got the trend line tap. What else is there? Look straight down.
Oh, the RSI is oversold.
Overbought.
Overbought.
So that's 3 confirmations. So what are we doing next? We're dropping down a lower time frame, right?
Right. So
Okay.
we go down to 30 to
30?
find
What do you see right there? That's an evening star.
the engulfing candle. So you would get in. So and I guess that's what my issue is. I'm getting a little bit too late. So when you see it start actually going to stretch out the Bollinger Bands, you said that's when you start to actually go down to the time frames to look.
So just because it stretched out the Bollinger Band, no. Just because it stretched out the Bollinger Band here a bunch of times.
Oh, right.
But since it had the trend line tap, it's also overbought and it has the Bollinger Band stretch out. That's 3 confirmations. Then I'm going to drop down a lower time frame. I'm going to look for an engulfing. So we saw an engulfing here. You wanted to enter on the engulfing on the 1 hour. So look how much lower that is compared to all the way up here.
Right.
So you would have got a better entry. You still would have been right if you entered it on the 1 hour, but I would have just got, let's see how many pips that is.
Yeah.
Yours would have been, only 8 pips difference. Only 8 pips difference. Not a huge deal, but if you had a bigger lot size, might hit your stop.
Yeah, and that definitely would have.
Yeah. Okay, so
been a difference.
good job on that one. Nice. So what would we have done when we entered? When would our if you trade like I do, I know the targets are a little bit difficult for you now because we haven't really went over how to target things, but where would our first take profit be on our first trade?
I was told
30 to 50 pips, right? When we
30 to 50 pips. Okay.
Yeah, so on my strategy, I twin trade. I enter twice. The first one is 30 to 50 pips, and I move my stop loss to break even as soon as it's 15. So let's say we entered here, and let's say it goes all the way down here. We're 15 pips in profit. What are you doing?
You are getting back in?
You're putting your break even stop loss right where you enter. You put the stop loss there. So if the market reverses and goes against you, you still won the trade.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hmm.
So you move your stop loss down.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And then the other one, you just continue to move your stop loss down as much as you want. But the first one, I normally take profit between 30 and 50 pips. Now you
So
guys got to understand, this isn't going to work all the time. However, I've showed you multiple examples of it working. However, we put our stop losses so tight, if we lose, you don't give a crap. You know what I mean? Because if you lose, this is the thing. Look at it like this. If you take one trade, okay, so a lot of you guys will take 10 trades and they all win, and their take profit is 10 pips. So you caught 10 pips on each one, which is 100 pips. And you guys will send me a losing trade of 100 pips. So you just lost in one trade all your profit from 10. That doesn't make any sense. So what you guys need to start focusing on is, think of it like this. If you have a 10 pip stop loss on all your trades and you lose 10 trades in a row, that's 100 pips total, right? But if you win one trade and it's 100 pips, you just made all that back. Think about it like that. That's how I think about it. You know what I mean? So you could literally lose 80% of the time and still have a profitable week. So if you just kind of use my strategy, you guys can use whatever you want. But I'm just teaching you guys what I do, because every single thing I learn, I want to teach you guys so we're all on the same level. So why don't you give me another example, okay? Let's find some.
When you're watching, you said you don't really watch your trade, but if you were watching it, would you watch it on the hourly time frame or?
Yeah, I normally watch it on the hour or 30 minutes. Sometimes if I'm looking to see, like, if it's coming close to my stop loss, I drop all the way down to the 1 minute. But if I'm just looking at it, so let's say this. Let's say I entered on this engulfing and it starts coming down a little bit. I'm gonna have my stop loss pretty much right at the top of this, and I'll check it every 30 minutes. If it tanked all the way down here, I'm putting a break-even stop loss and a 50 pip take profit, and then I would have got hit. My take profit would have got hit. So the biggest thing is, don't get greedy. Just because your take profit got hit, that don't mean jump in again, because I see you guys do that all the time. You're like, dude, I just caught 50 pips. I'm like, hell yeah. Then you jump in again, not thinking it's going to pull back a little bit with double the lot size, and you blow your account. You know what I mean? So stop trying to throw standards and 0.5s and stuff on one trade, because a lot of you guys, I've seen you be like, man, I made more money than you did today. And you threw a standard on a trade and made $100, and let's say I only made 70 for the day. Well, the next day you throw a standard on your trade, go 10 pips negative, and you just lost your entire $100 that you made for the day. And then me, I took 3 losses, and I lost 30 pips, won 2 trades, and they were both 100. So I'm up $170, and you're down. You didn't make nothing. You know what I mean? So I see a lot of people do that. A lot of people think, you got to try to get rich off of one trade. Would you rather take one trade, risking 20 pips, which would be on a standard would be net, you would lose $200, and try to gain 1,000, or would you rather take 10 trades, with a 20 pip stop loss? Think about it like that. You have a lot better chance of making money and a little less chance of losing money. So I want you to give me another example, and then I actually got to jump on a call. I got to jump on a 3-way call, and
that's fine. I have one.
But
I have one that's actually like a question, but if you go to that okay, so if you go all the way over to the right,
here, let's go back up to the 1 hour.
To the right.
Okay,
all the way over to the right.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that more like the last channel right there.
Here?
So that's a channel within the channel, is that right? From there to the top.
From here to here? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay,
there.
so this is just a trend line that I had saw, right at the end here, because it did a tap, tap, tap. So you would be looking for this spot, because without this, you wouldn't have had the channel. It just would have been one trying to figure out where it was going to go. So let's say this printed, okay, and we were looking for this area. Is that what you're wanting to try here?
Right.
Okay.
So that would have been like a confusing trade for me, because it's kind of like there's an engulfing candle, so you would think that it's a good time to.
I actually wouldn't have even looked at this. Reason being is because it's not stretching out my Bollinger Band, and it's not oversold, and I don't really like this area for support and resistance, because if you look to the left, it broke through it 1,000,000 times. You know what I mean? It couldn't decide. So I actually wouldn't have taken this trade. Just because there is a channel doesn't mean I'm going to take it. Reason being is because, there's just so many multiple confirmations that it's showing it. There's not a good chance of it shooting up because it's not by my Bollinger Band. It's not, it's not even,
Oh, I see. I
you know what I'm
got you.
saying? So, but if you do want to kind of drop down, I bet there's an engulfing there on the 15. Nope. Let's look at the 30. Yep. Right there. Morning star. Doji engulfing. Boom. Shot up. So, but I still wouldn't have taken it because even on the lower time frames, it's not oversold and it's not stretching out my Bollinger Bands. So I wouldn't have even entered. And that's probably in a time where I don't trade anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's actually not a time that I trade because I trade New York mainly. But yeah, that's the good catch though. That was a good example for that one. But let's try to find. Okay, so let's do. I want you to rather do this one, that one, or one of these two. So which one do you want to try?
The last one that you just said, the last one.
This one?
Yeah, that
One of
one.
these? Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that one's a little difficult to me.
Okay.
So,
This one actually is hard, but you'll get it.
you said it's in the.
This is actually one I didn't think you were going to pick because of this long wick, but this is actually a really good example because I can tell because of this wick, there's an engulfing in there.
And when you go down to the 30 or 15-minute time frame, you'll see it.
Yeah,
But,
let me show you something real quick too that you might not have noticed, but this is actually a good one. So look at this. If you drew a channel here, you got a third tap, right? Actually, if you come from this top and you see this other channel, look what happened. It broke through this channel. Now we're looking for a retest like I was showing you guys earlier, right? Came down, retest. So boom, that's even more of a confirmation. It broke through the top channel, retested, and it's a third tap on another channel. So it's a channel inside of a channel. Boom, 2 confirmations right there. You see that?
right, yeah.
So it broke through here, tap this channel, this purple one right here. Okay? All right, so go ahead and finish what you were saying.
So I would probably, would it be right there? I would probably go back a little bit more.
So yeah, we would be looking in this area, we see it coming down to our third. We're going to act like none of that's even happened. But I just did box off this area so that, this is kind of where we would, this is where the market's at. Let's act like the market is here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, let's act like the market's like right there and we see it coming down to our trend line. What would I do next?
So then we would see, because it's not stretching out. Well, is it hitting the
Yeah, Bollinger Band right there.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
So it's hitting the Bollinger Band. So I would drop down to a lower time frame to see if I see an engulfing candle.
And what's that? Right there.
Right. Yep, that's the engulfing candle.
Okay,
That's,
cool. So tell me my confirmations right now.
So it broke way through the Bollinger Band.
So this is on a lower time frame. On the higher time, because the Bollinger Bands are going to be broken through, but on the higher time frame, we saw it was stretching out our Bollinger Band, right? Because it was because at one point this was a solid red candle, okay, and then it turned into a rick. So we saw it we saw it retest. Okay, so what do we see here? We saw it retest, right? That's one confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me another one.
Well, it tapped the Bollinger Band. Well, it was stretching it out actually.
Yeah.
And then it was overbought.
Let's see. So
Right there.
So we don't want to be looking for, if it's overbought, we would be looking for sells. If it's oversold, then we'd be looking for buy. So the RSI is actually not accurate on this one, but we do have the retest here that broke through. We have the third tap on this trend line. So that's 2 confirmations in our Bollinger Bands. And then we dropped under the 30. And then what's there?
And then engulfing candle.
Engulfing candle. That's 4 confirmations. And then what's here?
The oversold.
Sold. We got 5 confirmations right there. Where would we have entered?
And we would have, see, and that's another thing.
You enter right after the engulfing prints. And then we put our stop loss where?
15 and 20 pips.
Below
10
the
to 15. 10 to 15 pips below.
below the open. So you entered here, but our open was here. So we want to put it 10 to 15 pips below this. It never came back down there. It started to increase. So what happens as soon as we're 15 pips,
You take
15
profit.
pips in profit. What do we do now?
After you take 15 pips in profit, then
Move the stop loss up to break even.
Yep.
Oh, you
Put
move
your
your stop
stop loss at break even. Yep. Good job. Who said that?
Aaron.
I don't know.
Aaron. Nice job, man. Okay. So put our stop loss at break even. Never came back down, right? So keep riding that to our first take profit, which is 30 to 50 pips. Guess what? It hit 50 pips basically on the dot. Look at that. On the pip, hit 50.
And then I did the same thing again.
And did what? Made Evening Star, stretched out the Bollinger Band, hit the trend line, overbought, tanked. Boom. Another one right there.
And I did it again.
Yep.
Yeah, I kept doing it.
Awesome. So great job, guys. Great job. I hope that helped you out, kind of doing it in real time.
A lot.
Good.
Yeah. Did you recorded this as well, Matt?
Yep. I recorded this one too.
Can you send it to me as well?
Yeah, for sure. I'll post it in the chats too. But other than that, guys, I'm starving. I'm gonna get some food. If you guys want to do this again, just let me know like another time this week, and then we can go from there.
All right,
Thank
cool
you
beans.
so much.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Have a good night.
Appreciate you.
No
All right,
problem.
you too.